Okay, so we'll start. Rathe Hollingum, engineering manager with Ericsson in Dublin, working on MediaFirst, which is the next generation TV platform. He's originally from the UK and had moved over 13 years ago with his family and has never looked back. Interestingly, he also writes music for Irish film. So welcome, Rathe. Big round of applause for Rathe.
Thank you, Fanula. As Fanula said, my name's Rathe Hollingum, and I work at Ericsson. I'm an engineering manager, and I'm working on next generation TV platforms. So today's talk is about TV. Just a quick show of hands. Who in this room has watched TV in the last 48 hours then? Either TV, video, anything on either phone, tablet, laptop. So this talk is for you. Everyone who watches TV, this is a talk just for you. My story comes about from music. I got into TV, I got into film, TV, because of writing music for film and television. I went to study music as well as engineering, because to write music for film and television, you need to understand the engineering behind the music. So I studied for 5 years doing music and engineering, and then left university to work for Tandberg Television. Tandberg Television is now Ericsson, but Tandberg Television has a history all the way back to the very first digital hardware compressor for digital TV. So I was in safe hands at Tandberg. While I was there, I worked on television head ends. That's from the lens of the camera all the way out to the broadcaster up to the satellite. And we build compression equipment, multiplexing equipment, conditional access, which is scrambling the television, as well as modulators that take the signal up to the satellite. I spent 5 years building control systems for the head end, and then moved to Ireland. I moved to Ireland because I wanted to be at the other side of the satellite. And in Ireland, I started working on software that was a receiver of satellite TV, added this to Windows, and worked building TV stack software on PC platforms, so for satellite, terrestrial, and analog TV. So if you've ever watched TV on your computer, it's probably run through some of my code. When you move from the computer, we then move to build set-top boxes. Not everyone wants a computer under their TV. They're quite noisy machines, they like set-top boxes. So we took the software that ran on a PC and we put it into a set-top box. And I have that set-top box here. It's an Ericsson set-top box. It's this device here. And in Ireland, we're very lucky because this was released in last year. Vodafone Ireland have released Media Room. This is this product. It's a set-top box that we built in Ericsson, running TV over the internet. So it's IPTV, set-top box, instant channel change, 100 channels on that set-top box. Over internet, so if you're a subscriber of Vodafone TV, you're already using a TV Anytime device and Ericsson equipment. It's not branded Ericsson, it's branded Vodafone, but that is Ericsson equipment. So I'm here to talk about the next generation, but before I really talk about the next generation, it's always helpful to think about the past. And television has a long past, all the way back to 1921. I'm not going to go quite that far. I'm going to go back to my granddad's generation first, to how my granddad watched TV. My granddad, he lived just out Hayes, just by the Heathrow, and they had a road, and he was the only person on the road that had a television. Back then, the television was tiny, it sat in the corner, and he had 2 channels, an up channel and a down channel. And that's all you could watch. People were delighted. They'll come and visit him. They'll all sit around in the living room around a tiny black and white television and watch the television. Over time, more channels came up. So no longer was it just up and down. It was up, down, and one in the middle and one at the bottom. And things started getting harder. There was another innovation that happened roughly about 1953, which is content discovery. So the first TV platform was a content discovery TV platform. Can anyone remember back to 1953 what that first TV platform might have been for content discovery? Well, it turns out, actually, it still exists today. I went to Tesco's this morning, and I found it. There we are. This is the first content discovery. First content discovery platform. It's a TV platform. They exist today, and you can still buy them today. Take them home. Now, if we look at this, so Thursday, RT2 is the football. So anyone who's a TV set generation, if you don't want to be here, you want to be watching the football, you're missing it. So that's the... Now, moving on from there, we added digital, obviously. Digital to television came in, and satellite. Explosion of channels now. Satellite in Ireland, roughly about 300, 400 channels. If you put 4 satellite dishes on your house, you get 2,000 channels in Ireland if you want that many TV stations. It's digital, and now the TV guide comes into the input of our set-top box. It comes in band. When you tune to your channel on satellite or on any digital television now, you get the guide with it. The other big innovation is inside these boxes, and we're probably all used to this now, that the price of hard disks have got cheaper. So in here, there's a hard disk. And along with the guide data that comes in on the input of the set-top box, you also have a UI that renders the guide data. It renders the TV listings. You can go and press the red button on any of those programs and record the content. That content gets recorded on the hard disk. And this device, which most of us will have devices like this at home today, current generation TV, it's TV anytime. So if anyone who's missing the football probably had it already recorded, will go home and watch this at home on the football. And that takes us to next generation. Well, next generation is obviously the internet. Previous generations is all about broadcast. Someone goes up to a hill or a satellite and broadcast shouts to everyone, and we all listen. If you miss something, bad luck. But that's how broadcast television is about. It's a broadcast channel, broadcast to everyone. The internet is not a broadcast channel. You can't broadcast to everyone on the internet. It's not allowed, otherwise everyone would do it. Instead, devices whisper. So this is a tablet device connected to the internet, and this is a PC also connected to the internet. These devices get their TV by whispering. It's a one-to-one connection. So as a device, I'm going to say, can I please have some video? Yes, here's some video. Oh, can I have some more video? Yes, here's some more video. Oh, I didn't get that last bit. Can you resend it? Yes, I'll resend the video. So it's a round trip. We're going from the server to the client and back again. That's video. The same thing on phones. The phones are connected to the internet. The phones also has to whisper to get their video. So I want to kind of just picture the scene. We're going to that football match. We're not going to watch it at home. We're going to go to a stadium and watch the football match. But we get there early. We whip out our phone and we start watching video. We want to look at the stats of some players, or we want to see some previous clips of the football match. We go and watch that on our phones. The video quality at that point is very high. We're the only one in the stadium. So I enjoy watching it, and it's great. Now the stadium starts to fill up. As the stadium fills up, some people get out their phones and start watching video. They start surfing the net. Now my video quality has to fall because there's only so much bandwidth in that channel that can be handled. So the only way I can keep on watching video is by having lower quality video. We have multiple encoders encoding at different qualities of video so that the players get to choose. But they're still whispering, I need this lower quality video now, please. Yes, here it is. Now, this is 75% of mobile traffic by 2020 will be video. So it's our job as Ericsson and anyone building TV platforms to make sure this player works, is reliable, and is up to people's standards, whether there's no contention around high quality video, or high contention and lots of people around, or if there's bad internet connection, I get packet losses. I need some more video, please. Now, I want you to think about going forward now. We've got the internet generation, and we've got the next generation TV at home. So what I'll do is I'm going to split this room into two, probably this table down the middle here. So everyone on this side, you're the TV anytime generation. So you have this set-top box. You're the people that have a 55-inch flat panel TV, not curved. You're not that new. And you're the TV anytime generation, and you're going to watch this product live. This side of the generation, for you, You want to be internet, you want to be the cutting edge, you want to get the biggest, the best content you possibly can, and you're buying internet TV platforms, so you buy the brand new product. Right, so you have a 65-inch TV, this time it's curved, and what you've done is you've gone and invited all your friends to your house, just like my granddad did, to come and watch TV on 65-inch thing. 4K you have, because you're going over the internet now. You've got 4K content, high definition, super high definition football match. So all your friends are coming around to visit. Now you all gather and you sit. So I want you to remember that this side of the table is the TV Anytime side of the table, and this side, you're all the next generation internet TV people. So you're both watching the football match. On this side of the table, what you'll see is you'll see the players in the center of the patch. One of the players will kick forward, and they'll score a goal. When they score a goal, what do? Cheer. Very good. Cheer. So that's what happened. Now, if you're living next door to that, you're sitting at home, you hear some cheering coming over the fence. The internet generation, what you're doing, you're enjoying wonderfully high-quality pictures at the same time, and what you're looking now is you see the people in the middle of the pitch. You see them running around in the middle. You hear a cheer coming from your neighbors. You see them in the middle of the pitch. And then you still see them in the middle of the pitch. And you still see them in the middle of the pitch. What happens is 2 minutes later, one of the players makes a run for it and scores a goal. And what do you do now? You've already heard it. You already knew the goal was coming. We have to ask ourselves, are you watching live TV anymore? 2 minutes is not exactly live TV, and roughly what people like to hear is TV lasting about 2 minutes, or 2 seconds behind live. It's pretty much. So the next generation TV platform has to solve this problem on the internet. It's a fundamental problem we have to solve. It's all to do with latency. It's not to do with how thick your pipe is. Everyone has 100 megabits now into the home. It's not to do with that at all. Getting Ultra HD video is easy. Through that pipe, it's the latency that's the problem. Now, 5G was built from the ground up. And one of the key features of 5G is to reduce that latency. And the reason you reduce that latency is just that. It's just this side of the table, it's this side of the room. It's to make that football match come back to life again. The lower your latency, the shorter your buffers need to be, and the closer to live TV you get. In addition, the more time you get to watch at the high quality, because contention is quicker to handle. What's happening with contention is the video data is going up, down, up, down, up, down. So if you have less latency, shorter segment sizes, you can, as the viewer, track when the bit rate's up much better, and only drop down lower quality when you really need to. It'll be a lot more rapid in the response. Now that's from a video quality. At home, when I'm watching the football, my daughter steals my phone. She goes off and she watches, she goes on a couple of letters in YouTube, and then she finds the content. She watches 6, and she's just been using the next generation content discovery system for 6-year-olds. This is where you type in just 2 letters, and it finds it, big analytics data, part of content discovery. She finds what she wants to watch, and she's watching it for free. Actually, there's people at home who are also watching this for free. This is being recorded right now and will probably be posted onto YouTube. So this is also free content. Now, I don't like free content because I have a job. I want to be paid, and I need people to pay for content so that we get paid for the cool stuff we're building. And this is important for content owners who are creating films. They also want to get paid for making films. And this brings us to content protection. Now, content protection is part of a TV platform. It's a very, very important part. In previous days, my granddad's generation, they had a form of content protection. So in the corner, you know, the TV set, it was in the clear coming down to the TV set. But when you had a TV set, you had to have a license to go with it. The license doesn't improve the reception. It's just something you have to go with your TV set. There's a van in London with a spinning roof rack. You'll go around and detect whether you're watching TV. And sometimes you get caught, and that's how it forces people to have the license. So the content creators in this world are protected. They can produce content for the granddad's generation. There's nothing changed other than you don't always need a license now for mobile phones. But premium content still needs a license. And this is DRM. Every device that's capable of watching premium content has a serial number. Most phones these days have a serial number. That serial number is burnt into these devices. And content owners want to make sure their content is only playable on devices that can be individualized. I know which device it's playing on. The devices have a certificate burnt in that is with a serial number. When you sign in and first log into an app that gives you content rights, your account is tied to your device, and the content owner knows who you are. Interestingly, though, we've got an Apple phone, we've got an Android device, we've got a Windows PC, and we've got an Ericsson set-top box. In the old days, the content owners only had to care about one set-top box being breached. Content protection is all about making sure the hacker doesn't open up the lid like I've done, put a couple of connectors to here and copy off the unencrypted video and record it and then distribute it. So content protection, the only people that can properly do it is the people that own the hardware. So Apple, the only people that can do content protection properly on an Apple device. Microsoft on a laptop, on a PC. They're the ones that have all the control over all the drivers, all the way from the decryption to the video card on the output. Same thing with Android. They have their own hardware. So we're now living in a world where previously you might have one system for doing encryption. Now we have multi-systems for doing encryption. And this is a complexity that modern-day platforms have to have. Now, let's look at 4K TV. I'm sure everyone here has gone to the cinema at some point, and anyone who's brave can admit to seeing, put up their hand if you've seen what happens when someone takes a camcorder into the cinema. You go and watch some content, they film it in the cinema, and it's a screener, and you watch it back. So you get the premium content with all the, lifted out of a cinema, played back on your own screen because someone's filmed it. Content producers don't like this, but this is what happens with 4K. You've got 4K in your living room. You've effectively got cinema quality video in your living room. And in my pocket, I have a HD camera in my pocket. I have a tripod at home, and I can put my camera on the tripod, and I can put a good quality microphone on the side of my camera. I can buy my premium content on my 4K TV, watch it, and press record. Now I can take my recording, put it onto the internet for free. Content producers are going to be livid with that. They do not want their 4K content down-converted, yes, to HD, but HD is perfectly watchable by most people, for free on the internet. And our problem as engineers, and things that we're always doing, is solving problems. And the problem we have to do is, how do we protect content that's 4K? Well, one way of doing this is that you take the unencrypted, uncompressed video, the raw video, because that's what you see with your eyes, and you make changes to that video. What you do is you might make some parts of the video brighter, some of it darker. You might put some color changes, you might put some pixels where they shouldn't be. You do something that the human eye doesn't detect quickly, so you do things very slowly over time, but a camera does. This is watermarking, so that if you are a hacker in the home, you make a recording, and you publish to the internet this recording, because your device has also got a serial number in, we requested the license, it's sent back, and because the video has now got a watermark that's linked to you, the content owner knows who it was who made the copy. If they know who it was that made the copy, they can revoke that certificate, that license. So the next time you pay for your video, you'll get denied. No more watching, the device is broken, it's been revoked, and won't ever be given a certificate again, and they also know who you are. So that's in the same way that when my granddad had a license, they knew who wasn't watching, they now know who's copying. So you're able to get picked up on that. This is good news in some ways because it allows you to have content, but let's think about it from a compression point of view. We now went from a world where we broadcast, we compressed once to everyone. Then we went to a world where we compressed maybe 10 times for the stadium scenario. High bit rate, low bit rate, roughly about 10 different video compressions. Now for 4K, to enable 4K, we need to massively grow the number of compressors, encoders that we have, because now we need one encoder per viewer. That's good, we're in the encoder business. That means we can sell more encoders. Now, 5G has a solution. 5G and a system open standards set of called software-defined networking. In the end, encryption, compression, packaging and transmitting is just software. We've written that software. We've written it for boxes, dedicated boxes that live in a data center. And what we can do with software-defined networking for 5G is move that same software into the base station. Now, the base station is effectively a client. It also has a serial number. It also makes a license request, and it also gets the content. But it can decode the content and recode the content when a subscriber of that base station wants to play back the content. So now, we've got personalized video for everyone on 5G. And that pretty much is what a TV platform is these days. And that's what we work on every day. And I hope that you've gained a little bit of appreciation of what's involved to get TV and also understood a little bit around why the slow uptake for 4K is coming along. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. I'm happy to answer anything you have.
Brilliant, Rathe. Thanks very much. Any questions? I think we have a few mics in the room, do we, girls? Yeah, Rachel. Brilliant. Any questions? Not one question. I don't believe it. Here we go.
Oh, there was one over.
Hi. Yeah, kind of the obvious from the privacy protection point of view in Europe. If every device has a serial number, how would a content provider know that, seeing as we have all these privacy laws that says you can't even ask people who they are?
So the content owners would not be allowed to know who you are, but the content owners know that a crime's been committed, and therefore there are processes in place to acquire and investigate and follow up. The important thing is the ability to revoke. Once people learn that you get revoked very quickly, it's going to fall off. And privacy is important and will always remain important. But devices these days are all serial numbered. Yes. Is that okay? Oh, yeah?
Any other questions?
Okay. Very good.
No? Okay. Thanks
Okay.
very much, Rathe. We'll
Thank you.
take it.